Hey everybody, welcome back to Highway Blossoms. Last time Marina and Amber were enjoying Las Vegas and things seem to be getting better, but now, who knows? Let's just see what is in store for us today. I can't help but yelp. That was the last thing I was expecting. Not for long, there's just something I want to do. And you can't be there. Why not? Shuffling in place, Marina looks away. 'Cause it's a surprise. Mare, no, this isn't a small town. This is Las Vegas. What if you get lost or if some creeper tries to mess with you? It'll be fine, Amber. There's like 1,000,000 people on the street. Yeah, so? That doesn't mean anything. I mean it. It'll be fine. There's a fire in her voice that takes me by surprise. There's even a small spark in her eyes, like she's angry. My frown deepens. But seriously, it's nothing bad. I promise. I just want to do something, but it's a surprise for you, so you can't be there. Her face softens. Please, it'll only be a couple of hours. Marina, I don't know. Of all the cities to split up in, this is one of the worst. Not only do we not have a way to contact each other if needed, but the people aren't the sort you can trust. If I leave her on her own, there's a good chance I'd never see her again. But the way she stands there, hands on her hips, looking determined, makes me not want to argue. I sigh. Are you sure? Yeah, I mean it. Just give me like 3 hours. That's a long time. You think so? I tried to keep it short. In 3 hours, she could be snatched into someone's car and well into Arizona, or California, or halfway to Reno. It's irresponsible of me to let her go. But I can tell by looking at her that I don't have a choice. Okay, fine, but can you at least stay on this street? It's a straight shot back to the Rio where we've parked, and so it'd be harder to get lost. Marina nods fast. That's fine. I already saw where I need to go, but you're not allowed to watch, okay? Yeah, I'll probably just go back to the car anyway. Now she frowns. Isn't there anything you want to see? Not without you. Aw, Amber. She kicks at the ground. I guess we don't have... No, go on. What? Just be safe, okay? Don't do anything silly. I guess it'll be fine for a couple of hours. She takes the drawing in one hand and then hugs me tight. Then Marina leans up and kisses me on the lips. She pulls away before I can get into it. Okay, I'll see you in a while then. Right. We stand there, neither of us moving. Oh, Marina, what are you planning? Tricky. A surprise, huh? I have no idea what it would be, or could be. Except maybe framing the picture. But that's not really that great of a surprise. That's more of something you do together as a couple. Be like, we should get this framed so we remember that goofy time we went to Las Vegas after we found all this treasure. And then we got our character drawn by some sleazy artist who gave us bigger boobs. Right? That's not much of a surprise, though. I sigh again and then trudge back down the road. I glance back every few steps, but she doesn't move. Instead, she watches me and waves, probably making sure that I keep good on my promise not to follow her. As tempting as it is, I'll let her go for now. Dude, that's always scary when you're in a city. I've had to do that before. And I'm just like, I don't feel safe about you wandering around this city alone. It's dangerous and you're not from here. And then it's like, but you're a full-grown adult, so who am I to say no? And I've actually stalked someone while she went to her meeting in the city because I was nervous. It's scary. Cities are scary. 3 hours can't be that hard, right? Turns out I was wrong. 2 hours are agony. I wander from store to store, stepping in without actually caring what's for sale. The first is a vegan restaurant. I don't try any samples. Just next door is some fetish shop with its windows covered. All the lights inside are colored, mostly red or sometimes violet. The girl behind the counter, pale skin and with artificially black hair, gives me a smile that I return. But I don't stick around. I don't even know what I'm doing, going through the motions of being a tourist, I guess. Technically, I am exploring Las Vegas. This is when you go to, like, the Luxor or Paris. I think Paris should be nearby. I mean, that's the Eiffel Tower right there for Paris. Go to Paris, you go to Luxor, and you go, like, do some of their rides or something. Does Paris have rides? The Luxor, last time I was there, which was a very long time ago, had, like, awesome, like, motion sensor rides. Seriously, that's what you do if you don't want to gamble or you don't want to spend money in epic arcades. Vegas has the best arcades. Anyways, there's tons to do in Vegas. Tons to see, too. Tomorrow, I'm sure I won't be able to remember a single detail of these shops. Up ahead is yet another street vendor. His setup is nearly twice as long as most of the others and includes large glass display cases. Looks like it must be a pain to transport. I wander over, pretending to be interested in. The clerk, a Hispanic man with a short goatee, watches me, but doesn't say anything, not even a greeting. It's all cell phones and phone accessories, chargers, cases, cords, and the like. Nothing relevant to me. There's a special discount on prepaid phones and time cards right now, it seems. A half a dozen identical posters plaster the wall of the longest case. I stare at one of the flyers, though I'm not actually reading it, just imagining if Marina and I had cell phones. It might help at times like this. Seriously, I don't know how you drive a motorhome, like you drive and live out of a motorhome and not have a cell phone, because that is my argument for having a cell phone, is it's nice when you travel a lot and you drive a car, because if that car breaks down in the middle of the desert, you do not want to be walking to try to find a payphone. But whatever, Amber. To each your own, I guess. And then it's also convenient for moments like this, like when your girlfriend or your possible future girlfriend is wandering around Vegas alone. Ugh, I would be weird about it too, honestly. I mean, just because Marina's like so young and doesn't know what it's like to be in a city, I'd be like, ugh, street smarts is not your style. And she's so trusting too. I'd be worried. I am worried, clearly. Times when I'm being ridiculous and clingy and an idiot. Being able to reach her anytime would be nice, but would they get much use? That's when I realize something, and I'm dumbfounded by a single fact. What it is that's been bothering me since we split up. This is the first time since meeting Marina that I've been on my own. That she isn't just a room away or within shouting distance. Even though it's only been a couple hours, I suddenly feel profoundly alone. Oh, that's cute, Amber. You're lonely and you miss her and you miss being around people. It's okay. That's part of being human. It's pathetic, I know. I'll see her again in less than an hour now. But the anxiety of separation gets the better of me. It makes me sick as all the horrible scenarios rush into my head again. The ones where something bad is happening to her and she's not able to call for help. I look at the phones in the case. I've never had one, so I'm not very knowledgeable, but they look cheap and flimsy. I try to find a brand name, but it wouldn't mean much to me even if I could. The only names I'd be familiar with are those massive companies who make everything, not just phones, the ones whose merchandise costs hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. I think Marina has a Heisei? I've heard they're pretty good. Then again, I've also heard about shady stuff with them suddenly replacing all their production workers with robots. Gramps said that sort of thing would be part of the New World Order. Yeah, part of the New World Order. When all workers are replaced by robots, because, hell, just think of what that would be like if we didn't have to work for a living. It'd be kinda nice. if we didn't have to work crazy 40-hour days because robots were doing it. I don't know. I mean, as long as you have all your other survival needs taken care of, it sounds pretty luxurious. Though if this is the New World Order with the reptilian overlords or with Donald Trump, well, maybe we are in trouble. Doesn't matter though. It's tempting, but there isn't much point. In just a week, less now even, Coachella will be over. Wait, is that the music festival that Amber's been talking about this whole time, is Coachella in California? Wow. Coachella is certainly not what it used to be, but I should have guessed. I mean, it would have been that, or it would have been, what was that MTV sponsored music festival back in the day in California? There was one at some point. Either way, doesn't matter. Freaking Coachella. Well, a phone gives us a way to stay in touch. Once we've, I spin around and walk away in a hurry, feeling suddenly sick again. I must have looked like a lunatic, coming up, standing still, then freaking out and leaving. Maybe that's why the guy didn't say anything. I just look like another insane junkie. I picture some tweaker stepping out of an alley towards Marina, who of course wouldn't even notice, and I shoved those thoughts out of my head. 1 hour, just one more hour. Chill, I tell myself for the 1000th time. Across the street from the phone carts is a bright green sign for a candy store. One of those places that has floor-to-ceiling bins of gummies, and they sell it by the pound. I half expect to see Marina in there herself. Getting her a surprise bag of sugar might be a good way to try to make up for being weird. Until the next time I act weird, that is. I cross the street as soon as there's a gap in traffic. Not bothering to go to a crosswalk. The doors have an outline and handles that are the same lime green as the sign. When I step inside, I see that the walls are too. I'm reminded of the slime from those old shows I used to watch on TV that would be sprayed onto the audience or cast members. Not the most appetizing impression. The selection is good though. Like I expected, there are more varieties of candy than I've ever seen in a single place, only pictures. There are several different types of plastic bags that you can fill, ranging from I'm on a diet to garbage bag sizes. I grab a medium-sized one. Then I realize that I don't know what to get for Marina. Definitely chocolates, but with or without nuts. I can't remember if I've ever heard an opinion. I tried to recall what she's gotten at gas stations along our trip, but I never paid much attention. Maybe I should go for a mixture of both? But then what if she's allergic to something? It probably would never come up since we always eat out and order for ourselves. I don't want to give her a 3-pound sack of I can never pronounce that word. Anaphylactic shock. It's my best attempt. Gummies then. Those might be safer. There are more types of gummy candies than I ever thought existed. Different flavored rings, candies shaped like the fruits they taste like, and other things like chewy soda bottles. For just a moment, I wonder about which ones I should pick. I think I remember her saying she loves raspberry. Or was it strawberry? But I think she's gotten strawberry soda before. Not that that means anything. This is a gift, so I want it to be perfect. Not a bag full of things she dislikes. Then I remember. Marina likes pretty much everything. Elated at the simplicity, I dump a small scoop of just about every sort of gummy that they sell. For good measure, I get a second smaller bag and fill it with some malted chocolate balls, caramel clusters, and plain old chocolate chunks. Safe options. I haul the 2 bags over to the counter. There's just one attendant, and she's currently ringing up a mom with her 2 sons. The kids dart around their mom's legs, rattling displays and knocking items off the shelf. No one makes them stop or fix their mess. One of these kids stares up at me, and I frown at him deeply. He stops running and hides behind his mom's legs. Good. When they leave, the kid is still clinging to her like a bear cub. I set my bag up on the counter and kneel down to replace some of the spilled items. As I do, the shopkeeper comes around front, nearly bumping into me. "Oh, you don't have to do that. Thank you." "Yeah, no problem." I look up, directly into her knees. I straighten up, and we're suddenly way too close. Stumbling backwards, I grab the counter to support myself. She laughs, eyes crinkling. She's cute. Her tan skin is complemented by the bright red uniform she wears. A little name tag on the counter says that her name is Cassie. "You know, there's a special going on right now." "Oh yeah?" A stack of postcards sits by the credit card machine. She hands me one. "If you buy 10 more bags, you get one for free." I try to imagine how much candy that would be. You need a wheelbarrow to haul it all out. Cassie laughs, probably at my expression. "Yeah, we haven't had many people spring for that one." The person I'm buying this stuff for probably would if she was here. This will probably be gone by tonight. I gesture at the bag still sitting on the scale. "Shopping for your sister, or?" "Nah, my girlfriend." I try out the words, seeing how it sounds in relation to Marina. As expected, it makes my heart skip a beat. During the beat, I feel like I see the shopkeeper's face fall, just for a second. Oh no, are we gonna have one of those awkward moments? Oh good. Good, I'm glad. It's always really awkward when you say that stuff and you don't get the reaction you want. A favorable reaction, preferably. "Yeah, lucky girl." "Thanks." I don't know if she means because of the candy or because of me. After ringing up my bags, she dumps them into an even larger bag. That seems unnecessary, but I guess it makes them easier to carry. She passes me the candy as well as the receipt. "Have a good day." "Try the peach rings. They're my favorite." "I will. Have a nice day, too." The girl waves as I leave the store. Outside, I checked the receipt since I wasn't really listening to the total. It looks like she didn't charge me for the smaller bag. I glance back inside, but she's disappeared into the back room. I guess that answers my earlier question. Seriously, that would have been my guess. Because, you know, she seemed to like be a little disappointed when you said girlfriend, but not for the reasons one might think. Again, great subtext right there. Like that whole interaction, and then Amber just looking at the receipt and being like, "Oh, she didn't charge me for bag. Okay." Flattered, I head back to the Rio where we parked. It's not long until I'm supposed to meet Marina, and if I spend too long outside, her present will melt. Oh, that's cute. So you got a surprise for Marina too. But it'll be weird. Well, no. Never mind. We will wait to see what happens. Walking back to the casino where we parked is way faster than leaving it was. That's probably because I'm still missing the human pinball, so I'm not held up every time we pass a shop. I say that, but of course I'm eager to see her again. In some parallel universe where I hadn't met Marina, I might have stuck around at the candy store to chat for a longer time. But unfortunately for Cassie, I already have someone. The parking lot at the Rio has filled up even more. Getting out of here is going to be a pain since there wasn't a whole lot of room to begin with. I make my way to the RV and let myself in. It feels like an oven, and the first thing I do is turn on the AC. I set the bags of candy down on my bed to inspect them. As I had feared, the chocolate slightly melted, streaking brown against the clear plastic. It's not too bad, though, and a couple of hours in the fridge should have it as good as new. I leave the gummies on the counter since they didn't suffer as much on the walk back. Marina and I are supposed to meet up here in about half an hour. Since it's so soon, I may as well just wait in here where it's more comfortable. I lay down on my bed and try to read that book Marina's been sucked into for a few days, but I can't stay focused on the words long enough to process them. It doesn't take long before I give up and set it aside. Now I just stare up at the ceiling. I used to do this most nights when I couldn't sleep. After Gramps passed, but before I met Marina. It wasn't that it comforted me or anything, but the amount of effort it took to not think of anything usually led to me falling asleep without realizing. Instead, this time, I let my thoughts wander. Sleeping has been easier lately. Actually doing something during the day and getting exercise helps a lot. But also my thoughts have been less cloudy, less muddled. Sure, there are still moments when I think of Gramps and the pain hits me again. Having Marina around makes those rare. Someday, I might be able to think of him without it hurting. I don't know if I want that, though. Isn't that just like forgetting? People say you move on and get over deaths, but what does that mean for the person you lost? Yeah, I agree. I think it's way healthier when you just learn how to view the death or the loss differently, which takes time. But the whole idea of moving on and forgetting and not feeling anything for the person you've lost I don't think it's healthy, and I think it's just a dumb thing to want to do in the first place. I roll onto my side and stare at the picture of me and Gramps hanging on the wall. I can't take it and roll onto my other side. Ugh. Growing into my pillows cathartic. Without Marina here, I can be as loud as I want. To my surprise, no tears come. Anyone walking by outside would probably think I'm dying or in pain, but I don't care. Alone time has its upsides after all. Grieving is complicated and exhausting. Sometimes I wonder if I'm even doing it right. There must be something wrong with me if I don't even want to get over Gramps. I sit up, still hugging the pillow to my chest. Marina will be back soon. Maybe I can talk about this with her. As I think that, I feel a stab of guilt. It's not her problem. It's something I have to deal with myself. I force myself up and over to the driver's seat. I'm not going anywhere, but I can listen to music and watch for Marina's return. I stick in a tape and kick back. A few songs pass by. It's been 20 minutes or so. I start to scan the parking lot looking for her familiar red hair. Wait, Marina has red hair? It looks blonde to me. But I guess I'm not complaining. I like redheads as much as I think most people should. But geez, I didn't think her hair was supposed to be red. The tape ends. That's okay. It was a short one. I replace it with another one chosen at random. Still no sign of Marina. I get up and check the clock. She's about 10 minutes late now. Maybe the clock is off somehow. I hop out of the RV and ask someone for the time. It matches up exactly with what the clock said. Worry begins to tighten my stomach, but I force myself to calm down. It's Marina, and it's only been 15 minutes. Most likely she got distracted and is on her way right now. 5 more minutes pass. I begin to pace back and forth. Should I go look for her? I have no idea where to start, though. And if she got to the RV and I wasn't there, then she might go looking for me instead. No, I have to stay and wait. Another 10 minutes. She's half an hour late now. I'm so buying us cell phones. As soon as she gets back here, we're going to that guy on the street and we're getting prepaid phones. From a few streets away, I can hear the sound of a siren, a fire truck or ambulance or something. The knot in my throat feels larger. I cough just to relieve some of the tension. I have to go look. I can't take just sitting here. I switch off the engine, throw my shoes on, and climb out. And then I see her. That was good. That was close. I was worried there for a minute. Because the story could have totally gone in that direction of Marina disappearing or something. I mean, just think about who we've met around in this story. Anyways, I think this is a good place to end. And next time we'll find out what Marina surprises for Amber. So I will talk to you on the next one. Take care.